A major storm surge is expected to cause problems for holiday travelers. In Seattle, winds up to 70 miles per hour have downed trees and power lines, littering the streets with debris. And in Florida, heavy rains and floods. There you see them on the streets of Tampa, causing severe traffic delays. 13 states are under flood watch ahead of the year's busiest travel weekend. CBS News weather producer David Parkinson is tracking the latest. David, what's the forecast?
Yeah, well, so it's that entire eastern seaboard that you can see from Florida all the way on up into the Northeast and to Maine, to the Canadian border. It's all rain. There's a little bit of snow in the Appalachians, but everything is rain, and that's really part one of the problem. The second problem, though, is the wind. Here, anywhere shaded in this tan color, that's a wind advisory. That means you could be seeing wind gusts of 40 miles an hour or higher, and anywhere in this purple here, which is right along the south shore of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, on up into Maine, that's where you can see wind gusts of 60 miles an hour. So it's probably actually the wind that's going to cause more delays today than the rain. But besides that, let's take a look at how this all progresses. So this afternoon, the storm system, the part one of the storm system that hit New York this morning, that moves up towards Boston. You can see a heavy train of rain all the way down to the south there. But there's another second batch that makes its way on off to the east. This is a colder batch, so you could actually see a little bit of snow as we move into the morning hours on Saturday. Not in any of the major areas, but in upstate New York, western Pennsylvania, yeah, you could see a couple of inches of snow there. But in terms of your airport delays, it's really from Boston to D.C. that we're most concerned about. 1 to 3 inches of rain, at least when this thing is all said and done, with possible flash flooding. On top of that, your wind gusts, like I said, over 50 miles an hour. So that could cause some power outages this afternoon and evening. And then your temperatures are insane. They're record warm in places like Poughkeepsie, New York, Allentown, Pennsylvania, and more records are going to be shattered because your high temperatures are in the 60s. When you take a look at the temperatures throughout the Northeast, yeah, here's Philadelphia at 61, Boston's at 65. So those are some of those things. One other place to note, if you're flying today, Aspen and Eagle, they'll have some delays because of snow. And in terms of snow, if you want a white Christmas, you got to go west. Take a look at the East Coast. A lot of this snow is going to get melted off with the high dew points this afternoon. But really, it is the upper Midwest back to the West Coast where you're going to be seeing the most snow. So that's the question of a white Christmas. What's on the ground? What's going to be added? We'll take a look at the storms that keep pushing on to the Pacific Northwest. So we got round one, Friday into Saturday into Sunday. Take a look at this. You can see snow making its way into the Cascades. But then as we move into Tuesday for Christmas Day, you get a second round of a storm. And look at how not only wet, but snowy this one is into the Sierra, into Utah. So the ski lovers are going to be liking that one. East Coast, white Christmas, less likely. So you know we've got this storm system here. We've got a colder round Christmas Eve. Not a lot of snow here, maybe an inch or two. But Christmas morning, we could see some snow in the Chicago area, but all of that snow likely to get washed away as we move into the later part of the week as another warm storm makes its way to the East Coast. So that'll be back-to-back Fridays with a wet storm instead of a white storm. If you're a ski lover in the East, you might want to book those plane tickets now.
All right. David Parkinson, thank you very much for that forecast.
Sure thing.